Well, let's bring on Reidland now, who's the host of Conspiracy is the Theory. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing smashing. Now, just tell us a little bit about the podcast, really. I guess is the clue in the name about what the content might be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a different type of conspiracy show. You know, we go from aliens to paranormal to who killed Kennedy. My mom knows who killed Kennedy, just so you know. She's told me several times exactly who did it. But I don't know a lot about any of these subjects, but I love conspiracy. So my guests are the same way. It's just two people talking and there's no direct facts, but I only had to be right one time. You know what I mean? It's a fun show.
Yeah. Who does your mum think killed Kennedy then?
You know, we're from Kentucky and she believes two of the Warner brothers killed him in Kentucky because the land of the lakes, the land between the lakes. Yeah. So she told me who they were. It's coming up on my next podcast in about 2 weeks. Mama Knows Who Killed Kennedy is going to be on there.
That sounds kind of random that it was the Warner Brothers, but I'm sure there's good reasoning.
Not the Warner Brothers. It's they're from here. It's not like the Warner Brothers studio.
Oh, right.
It's the Warner Brothers that are kind of out here in Kentucky.
Right. Okay.
I could be wrong on the last name. I know it starts with a W. My mama knows.
Yeah. Well, what kind of conspiracy theories do you do then? Is it fun ones or more serious ones or maybe a mixture?
It's a mixture of everything. I don't go into like the really dark ones of, you know, the hate crime ones and stuff like that. It's fun. Like, you know, is the moon hollow? Is it a bell? Or just kind of fun ones like that. You know, especially I love to talk about aliens.
Aliens are good. Do you believe that aliens exist?
Oh, without a doubt. The universe is huge, without a doubt.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you believe they exist as well?
Yes, I think that there's got to be some sort of extraterrestrial life somewhere in the millions of miles, right?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah. So what sort of theories are there about aliens that you've looked at or plan to look at?
You know, right now there is I don't want to say too much on the show right now. There's just so much going on, and especially back, you know, with the pyramids, and you know, when you watch some of these shows, there's these big boulders and things that weigh like 20 tons that got moved. So there had to be something there helping them, or some technology that came from somewhere else. You know, those kind of things. And the Sphinx is so old as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because a lot of people talk about that one in particular.
Yeah, and in the old writings from the Sumerians, it clearly says, you know, what was in there, and, you know, it described where the planets were located. They couldn't see that far back then. So there had to be something kind of helping progress us along. And sooner or later, it's going to be revealed. Like even when we find a new culture, like out in Africa or Amazon like that, we integrate very slowly into it. So it could be the same thing that, you know, the extraterrestrials, they're integrating slowly and letting us know that they're there before the full introduction to the entire world.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. And on the other side of things, I guess a lot of conspiracy theories are all about sort of government control and things like that, aren't they?
They are. They always start apparently with the government. Yeah. So there's always something they're kind of holding back on the information for us.
Yeah. The thing is, though, so many people work for the government, and let's say the moon landing, for example, wouldn't it just take one person to reveal the quote-unquote truth and then it would all come out? Or would it only be maybe a small number of people within the government that actually know the truth?
Well, there's a lot of jobs that were given to different people during that process. So nobody, except for a very slight amount of people, knew the entire picture. Now, I do believe we went to the moon. I do love that conspiracy that we didn't go, that it was filmed by Scorsese or something like that. It could have been the name, the guy who the guy who did Apocalypse Now. They think he filmed it. And then they did admit there was filming that was part of some of the video. But I think we probably went to the moon. You know, I don't think that we didn't do it.
Yeah. Francis Ford Coppola, he did Apocalypse Now, didn't
he? Yeah. He's the one that apparently did the filming for the moon landing.
I like the idea that they got a proper director in to do it.
Absolutely. And they did say that some of it was filmed. Like you can see where it was filmed. And he also filmed that 2001 Space Odyssey, right? Yeah. And that's where they got the ideas from. Oh. Like it was filming that the same time that they went to the moon. So there are some links that maybe we didn't. I
suppose we did. There's very good arguments on both sides.
Yeah.
So what have you got coming up for the podcast? Are there things that you're excited to talk about on there in future episodes?
Yeah. Like I said, an episode that I'm doing tomorrow is about Kennedy. It's with a really cool guy, Jimmy. He's in the band Kickin' Valentina. Right after that, I'm going to do an interview with my mom. Mama knows who killed Kennedy. It's going to be like a back-to-back type thing. Yeah. And I usually interview a lot of art. I'm an artist myself. You know, my next single, Reidland 1972, because I turned 50 April 13th. So my 1972 single for Reidland will be out April 15th. April 13th, I'm sorry. But a lot of people I interview, they're musicians, and musicians love conspiracies. I mean, the show is, they get into it, man, and each one has their own theory that they absolutely love. Some of the ones coming up is also, is Paul dead? Did he die? That one. you know, that's a great one. I mean, the musicians love that. And I got a guy coming up, and he knows for a fact he's dead, and he gives all this information and breaks down. He said, I don't know all the information and stuff, and I forget things. I love to talk about it, but some of my guests, they really do get into it, and they got facts, and let's bring it out and let them know.
Yeah, that's an interesting one as well. I wonder how these theories actually started, because maybe if they are not true, it's weird how a lot of people believe them.
Absolutely, and they believe them wholeheartedly, like without a doubt. Yeah. You know, I'm always open. I could be wrong. One of my things is I only got to be right one time, and my show is not about fact. That's why it's called theory. My show is about theory. I could absolutely be wrong, but I could be right. You never know.
There are so many conspiracy theories out there that maybe statistically a few of them will actually be right.
Yeah. And through time, some have been accurate. I don't remember which ones off the top of my head. Yeah. I don't remember off the top of my head which ones have came out that were accurate, but there's been several that have been accurate throughout time.
Yeah, I suppose there probably have been cover-ups of things over the years, and people that have tried to uncover it, they're technically conspiracy theorists.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. And I, when it comes to Kennedy, I think that it is a conspiracy there. I without a doubt, I think it is a conspiracy. I do not think he acted alone. Oswald did not act alone. That's my opinion. And most of my guests have that same opinion. And even with Marilyn Monroe, you know, there is a good evidence that Robert Kennedy is the one that actually killed her. So there is compelling evidence on that as well. That will be up in another up-and-coming show pretty soon, probably over the next 4 weeks. That's one of the stuff that's coming up.
Yeah, I think the Kennedy one is one that it is generally believed that Oswald, they're not 100% sure that he actually did it.
Yeah. You know, I believe, this is my personal belief, you know, there's a car right behind him with a Secret Service agent, right? And he had a gun. He had a shotgun. And you can see that he pulls it out, and he had the perfect shot. And I don't remember his name, but I believe it was the Secret Service agent in the car behind Kennedy that killed him. And he was looking for the guy who killed him. I mean, what better alibi than that?
Yeah, exactly. You know? And there's one other one as well, isn't it? Like Hitler didn't die. He hid in a bunker in Antarctica or something.
Well, Hitler, I don't think he died either. I think he got out and went to Brazil. Ooh. There's evidence of the big Nazi community in Brazil. There is a ton of evidence that Hitler actually got out and he got to Brazil. They were so set up to get out, and the Red Cross is the ones who helped them get out. The Red Cross actually gave new visas, new passports to a ton of the SS and helped got them out of there. So did the Catholic Church.
Okay.
So chances are Hitler got out of there. And if you look at the picture that Russia took of the body before they burned him, it didn't look like Hitler at all. If you actually go look at that picture, it does not look like him in the slightest way.
Oh, I'm going to look it up now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And there was a whole season on History Channel. I think it's called Chasing Hitler or something like that. And it breaks down the entire thing. It is crazy.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Well, where are we able to check out the podcast if we're interested in listening?
You know, I made it really simple. If you just go to conspiracyisthetheory.com, it will take you directly to the Spotify link for the podcast. And then, you know, also check out my new single, Reidland 1972, coming out April 13th as well. You know, hopefully they'll like both. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to be a podcaster and a proper musician.
I definitely appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great. Well, have a great day, and many thanks for coming on the show. It's been interesting to chat to you.
It's been interesting chatting with you as well, and I appreciate everything. And you have a wonderful day, brother.